Hi. Dude, you did not expect that. I got you off guard. I was gonna come from here, but then I was like, that's too easy. I wanted to spawn from somewhere so you couldn't see. What's up? How are ya? You good? Good, I'm glad. Well, I have so much stuff to do. Not enough time. There actually is not enough hours in a day for me to do my things. But we are going at an exponential rate, which is phenomenal. I beat myself up a lot, like, oh, I'm not doing enough. And then sometimes I sit back and think to myself, like, dang, man, I'm doing a lot more than a lot of people in this business. But at the same time, that shouldn't let you get comfortable. You get what I'm saying? Understand that you're doing the most, be good with it, move on, and do more. What's up? What you guys got planned today? Today is Friday. Fridays are good days. One thing I advise you, but I dance in the shower. I'm like, you know, I just dance dumb as by myself, right? Like, who's gonna, well, I guess now you know, but no one knows that about me. Nobody. Bro, when I'm there, I'm just, oh no, I put a clump of my gel in the front. Nobody knows that. And it's like, bro, I'm just living, man. And it puts me in such a good mood because when I wake up, like today, for example, I got woken up by text, which I don't know why my DND's not on till 8:30, but it should be. I think I changed it to 8 a while ago. So whatever. My alarm was set for 8:30 and I woke up at, it was like 8:02. Fine, right? Like, I could find that aggravating, and I normally would. I would get pretty pissed off. And it wasn't even a good text. It was just like a, you know those reminders, like, oh, hey, like, reminder, this is coming up, and whatever, like, for whatever you sign up for. What the f***? Fine, bro, fine. You want to do me like that? I don't care. But then I start dancing in the shower, and then it all goes away. I don't have a problem. Small wins. My life consists of a bunch of small wins and a bunch of big ones, but my small wins outweigh my big ones by a landslide. This is too special, bro. You know what? I don't give a f***. Smells just, oh God, it smells so good. This is my room, by the way. It ain't much, but it's honest. So that's my dirty clothes. My bed's sitting on a bed box. It's sitting on a bed box. I don't even have a bed frame. And then my nightstand, IKEA, my monitor setup. And I got a table from Amazon. It was actually a really good deal. It was like $50. That's coming in a little bit. As of right now, this is my office. Ta-da! But you don't really need much. Understand, I used to be that person that has to have everything perfect. There's a point you reach where you're so busy that you don't have the time to make everything perfect. That's why you need to make it when, like, you gotta set these habits before you're made. You know what I'm saying? Because if you don't, then, you know, unfortunately, those habits will not carry over into you becoming successful. And once you become successful, you become very lazy. And when you're a lazy rich person, it's not like lazy, unorganized rich person, which there's a very few of, but there are people like that. And I've met people like that. And it's just not good for your personal image, because there's a few ways you got to view life, right? There's like a personal image, there's a brand image, there's something that you're trying to show people, and there's something that you are. Like, my brand is Smog King, right? My personal image, this is who people know me as. Like, for example, I had a friend over the other night. I think I told you this, I don't remember. She was like, I'm too afraid to like do anything in your house. It's too clean. It's too put together, to the point where people almost get intimidated. And to be honest with you, I love that. The fact that they feel like they can't be unorganized in my space, that just means that I'm doing something right, because that means you have to set your own boundaries. All of my friends are very familiar with the boundaries that I have set in my space. It's my space. I hope that makes sense, but I'll record in a sec. But yeah, you know, you can't allow people just to fucking walk on your shit. Like, you, and the craziest part is the only person that can stop that is you, bro. I remember back in the day, like, I used to have friends over. Malfunction. Tire pressure malfunction. Nice. Visit your dealer. Brother, Yo, secretary position or assistant positions. Like genuinely, I need an assistant now. Start applying, bro. Hit me up on Instagram. I wish I was kidding. I'm genuinely not around. Yeah, that's that. But I remember back in the day, I used to have friends that came over all the time, right? And they would treat, my house not as respectfully. They felt like they could do that. And if people feel like they can do that, they will. So for example, what did I start doing? I just, mix that with obviously my dad, being on my behind all the time about being organized and being clean and how it's you need to and how whatever. So what ended up happening was I just became super clean to the point now where my friends come over, they can get whatever they want. I don't care what my friends do. But as long as they clean up after themselves, that's the part that annoys me. Because I spill food too. It's not like I'm perfect. I spill food. I f***ing make a mess when I'm cooking. I do all of that stuff, right? So do it. I'm not saying don't do it. Or it's impossible to do it. Like what? That's just dumb. But if you're gonna do it, at least clean up after yourself. That's the one major thing that gets under my skin with a lot of people. They just don't clean up after themselves. It's like, how do you not have enough respect for yourself? Now I've reached a point where my friends are like, for example, like drinking a soda or whatever I have, whatever it is. They don't leave their cans on top of my counters. They don't just leave it there. They make sure and they make a conscious effort before they leave. They're like, oh shit, I forgot my can. Because they're used to it in their environment. But because they're in a new environment, which is not like theirs, they fix it. You get what I'm saying? And it's just common decency and respect. When you go over to someone's house, at a place, anywhere if you're out, you're supposed to leave that place cleaner than it was when you got there. Aside from hotels. F*** that shit. No, I'm just kidding. No, but genuinely though, like when you go over to your friend's house, right? He gives you, I remember back in the day, sleepovers and stuff, right? Even now, sometimes you're tired, you just want to sleep over at your boy's crib. You'd spend the night at your friend's house, right? Even now. Bro, if they give you a blanket and, sheets and whatever for you to sleep on the couch, for example, these are very random examples I'm just pulling out of my ass, but it's it makes sense. So, if they give you sheets and a blanket, even if it's not folded when it gets to your hands, fold it when you wake up in the morning. I can't tell you how many times back in the day, I would have sleepovers with my friends, and then my friends' parents would be like, Aryan, you did that? They would walk into the room I was sleeping in, for example, right? Or the couch or whatever it was, right? And they would be like, damn, this kid is he's a good kid. My aunt actually, on my mom's brother's wife, so my aunt, she would, I remember back in the day, they live in, I don't know where they live now, but they had these little foam pads that you could sleep on. It was like a mat, not a mattress, but a mat. So imagine you know how a sparring gym has those mats on the floor? It was something like that, but a little bit more cushiony. So you could sleep on it. It was like a portable mattress almost, and it folded into 3 pieces. And then I remember one day there was a family event there. I was young, bro. I was in, I think, freshman year of high school or 8th grade, something like that. I folded all my put it in a corner, very organized. My aunt came down in the family event. She's like, Aryan, you did that? I was like, yeah. She's like, your mom didn't do it? I was like, no. And that was the time she was like, dang, she was shocked. And I was like, dang, bro, that's a good feeling, You feel very proud of just being clean and organized and just being that person. I'd rather be known for being too organized than being a slob. Especially if you're a man, bro. You're a grown-ass dude and you're unorganized. How does that make sense? Or if you're too busy to be organized, which I understand as well on that end, right? If you're too busy to be organized, hire somebody. If you're too busy to be organized, that means you're rich enough to hire an in-house maid. Or at least hire a maid once a week. I'm not wrong. All right. I'll call you guys in a second, okay? All right, bye. So I was at the gym, and I want to bring up an important talking point, low-key. I saw a girl in there. I felt disrespected. So I was on a date with her. She saw her ex or whatever. I was very cordial. At least she told me that was her ex. Very cordial, right? You gotta be mature with this shit. And I kind of wanted to date this girl, I'm not even gonna lie. I've known her for so many damn years, so it's take something serious and kind of settle down. She's a little older than me. We were on this date. I paid for the dinner, paid for, everything, right? As I'm supposed to. She's like, yeah, that's my ex. Fine. Like, I understand, Like, you can't be immature about that shit, right? So I'm like, all right, fine. We go to the bathroom, we come out. Him and his friends were having like some event there or whatever, right? So, I'm talking to one of his friends. I'm being very cordial about the situation, very mature, right? Like, me and this girl are out on a date. We just happen to run into this dude. So she comes out of the bathroom while I'm at the bar waiting for her. So what ends up happening is she comes out, she says hi to her ex. Brother, that's fine. We're all mature, grown people. And then they start like talking, like a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, how you doing? Oh, this is, hey, I'm on a date. Okay, cool. All right, cool. Right? That's in my head, that's how it was supposed to go. Because we were about to leave. And then she just starts like, and I'm like, hey, what do you do? Whatever. And then the conversation kind of merges towards them. And then I'm like, okay, this is kind of f***ing weird. Like, what the She was like, like on it. And like, it was just very uncomfortable. Like the situation was just f***ing weird. You know what I'm saying? And then he like grabs her face and I'm like, bro, am I getting cucked? Like, what the Where's the respect for yourself? You're not disrespecting me, sweetheart. You know what I mean? If anything, I dodged a bullet. I tapped the kid on the shoulder. I'm like, hey man, pleasure to meet you. Bounce. 5 minutes later, she's like, I'm gonna be down in a second. What? I'm gonna wait for you while you're talking to your ex, disrespecting me and yourself. More importantly, yourself, not even me, you know what I mean? Yourself. Let me tell you this, gentlemen, ladies too, This applies to both sides. Don't allow disrespect, don't do that, to yourself. Hold yourself to a certain standard. And, I've seen this individual out multiple times and, she always tries to, oh, what did I do? What did I do? What did I do? She knows what she did. Not putting yourself in those certain situations. I genuinely, I'm a pretty fair dude. Like I sit down and I give everyone the benefit of the doubt. You know how I always preach taking yourself out of that scenario where you're uncomfortable or where you're not feeling respected or appreciated. I'd rather be alone than be in a relationship with someone like that. Call it unfair, call it weird, call it whatever. I'm not gonna allow myself to get disrespected. I'm sorry. I just have too much respect for myself to allow that to happen. So why am I even bringing this topic of discussion up? I saw this individual at the gym. I'm one of those people, call it stubborn, call it hard-headed, call it whatever you want to call it. You only have one chance with me. There is no such thing as second chances with a person like me. If you do that so open and so blatantly in my face, the first time we're on a date, I've known this girl for 10 plus years. 10 plus years. If you do that to me and you treat me like that, when I give you the opportunity to take you on a date and possibly be with a guy like me, I know what I'm offering. I know what I'm bringing to the table. Because if I'm denying other people because of my peace of mind, and I'm willing to change my entire schedule just to be with somebody, don't take that for granted. And I'm not saying I'm a prize or I'm a catch, no. But how many of me's are there? How many dudes like me are there? A lot? Okay, fine. How many of yous are there? For a guy like me, plenty. I say this in the nicest possible way to anybody. You see? Her energy is just pissing me off. I'm kidding. I'm sorry, God. I wasted that egg. I apologize. But I'm saying this to whoever needs to hear it. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Don't allow yourself to get played more than once. And that's very important. Don't allow yourself to get played more than once by the same person. Cut the problem off. What do they do with cancer tumors? Cut it off so it doesn't spread. Cut the issue off. Don't sit there and allow yourself to get finessed, played, made a fool of by the same person. I'm not gonna sit there. So when I saw this individual, the best thing to do with these kind of people too is that they're attention seekers. So what did I do? I saw her, I acted like I didn't, and I just continued on with the rest of my workout. And this individual tried to do to garnish my attention. I'm sorry, sweetheart, not me. I have too much respect for myself to allow myself to be put in such situations. Not me. And she's tried to embarrass me in public and, all that stuff. I was at dinner with one of my friends once, and she comes up and, she's saying provocative words and all of that. I'm sorry, I don't tolerate disrespect. One and done, especially with somebody. If you're my significant other, you have a lot more access to me in terms of my life than a lot of other people. So if I'm over here willing to give you a lot of myself, I expect the same thing, if not more, from my partner. Granted, the life that I live is extremely different. I'm not a regular dude. I don't have a regular lifestyle. If anything, I work more than the regular dude because I love it. Across my students and across, my businesses, across social media, all of this stuff, right? So if I'm willing to do all of that for you and you disrespect me the first chance you get, I'm supposed to sit there and be okay with that? Sorry, honey, not me. And I tell you this because this happens a lot more than people think, If you're a girl or a guy, I don't care. Whoever, oh my gosh. I don't care if you're a girl or guy, bro. Respect for yourself is number one. Because if you don't respect yourself, I'll guarantee you nobody out here in the world is willing to stand up for you and your own self to fight. Nobody. I'll tell you that straight up. Nobody will. If you don't do it for yourself, nobody will do it for you. As much as I hate to say it, I had to sacrifice that relationship. 10 plus years thrown down the drain. Do I care? No. Quite frankly, I don't. If anything, I'm glad because I dodged a bullet. I'm not gonna sit there and disrespect myself for what? For you? Sweetheart, I've sacrificed family members for doing the same thing. For doing less. You don't think I'm willing to sacrifice a relationship with a stranger? I don't care who it is. Does that make sense? In your life. Understand, respect for yourself comes first. You can't sit there and be like, oh, maybe this person's gonna change. No, they won't. We're all grown now. And the craziest part is, this particular individual, she's older than me. I mean, I typically do get it, older women, just because it's a bit easier for me in terms of understanding, right? They're typically at a point now where they have their career, yada, yada, whatever the case is, It's just easier for a guy like me. And I'm not saying older, like 60 years old. No, dude. The same age, maybe a few months, few years older. Nothing too significant, but don't sit there and allow this into your life. Because if you don't nip the problem in the butt, especially with problems like that, my man, you're in for a rude awakening, my friend, because she is going to do it 10 times more, or he is going to do it 10 times more and 10 times worse. Sorry, bro, not me, You can walk over whoever else you want to, not this guy. Ladies and gentlemen, understand your partner in life should be better than you in a lot of things. Whether that be emotionally, spiritually, mentally, financially, whatever. You guys want to complement each other in a lot of things. Does that make sense? You guys can't be too alike and you can't be too different. You guys have to have each other's, your strengths should be her weaknesses and her strengths should be your weaknesses. So then you guys teach each other and grow. Your partner should not be invoking emotions out of you to get a reaction. That's just childish. And when I noticed that, the first night that her and I went on a date, second date, when I noticed that, if she would have said pay for my Uber or whatever, I would have. I to be honest with you, I didn't give a f***. I was so frustrated, I was like, you know what? I got to take myself out of this situation because I'm disrespecting myself. And it's like things like just common respect you can't even teach. It's just expected for an individual to know. If I were to be in that other position, right, I wouldn't even allow my ex to break those boundaries. Does that make sense? I wouldn't even get close to that individual. Hey, how you doing? Good to see you. Hope all has been well. Good night. That's what it should have been at, in my humble opinion. Tell me if I'm wrong. But I don't know. I mean, the first night I went and picked her up from her house. I've picked her up all the time, actually, both times. I feel like I didn't do anything wrong, genuinely, though. I'm not even saying that, because if I was wrong, I would say, yeah, this is where I f***ed up, or, I was very emotionally immature here. But it's like, I introduced myself. I was very cordial, very respectful. I understand that you guys might have had something in the past, and you don't anymore. You don't anymore. You see where that f***s up? That whole it just does not make sense. So when I got disrespected, I was like, all right, whatever. Why am I still on this topic is because I saw this individual in the gym today. She was there because I noticed her pull in, right? But I just kind of went about my thing. I just didn't even look, whatever. I just
Sometimes acting ignorant to the fact that like something's right in front of you, ignorance is a bliss. You know what I'm saying? Willful ignorance. And I just pretended like I didn't see that individual. I'd rather have my peace. Sorry. My peace is worth billions, and it takes a very special person for me to sacrifice it for. And somebody who gets the first chance to disrespect me, takes it, I'm sorry, you're not worth my time. I'm worth yours, you're not worth mine. There's a few things in life that you gotta figure that out. Keep that in mind, my beautiful people. I love you guys so much. I don't want you guys to experience a lot of the things that I've gone through in the past. It's not worth your time, and it hinders your growth, to be completely honest with you. It hinders your growth. Let me call my pops, and then I'll call ya. Hey, cuties. People on social media hate for like no reason, bro. What the heck, bro? I posted a voicemail with the JP Morgan private client rep. He's a cool dude. He's my rep. Like, he's a cool guy. I call him if I ever need anything, like throughout the bank or whatever, right? So he invited me to an exclusive event that, you know, the bank is holding, JP Morgan's holding, for their private clients. And, you know, private client is like, I guess the way that I can explain it is like, it's like the difference between being like an Amex like gold member versus a platinum member. Platinum and Centurion. Obviously Chase has a ultra high net worth rep as well, which hopefully I'll get one within the next few years, like 2-3 years. Bro, that's impressive. Like, I've been a private client since I was, what, like 23? Off, dude. It's just crazy to me, dude. People, like, I don't know. I can't understand why people hate. Do you know? I don't think you guys are haters, to be honest with you. You're not. You know, but like other people, like, dude, just because you hate your life doesn't mean I do. Makes no sense to me. I don't know. I don't get it. I'm not like new to hate. Like I've had people hate on me my entire life. Like, it's not new to me, but I'm just saying, like, dude, what the heck? You serious? It's just rude for like absolutely no reason too. Like, zero reason for them to, like, instead of sitting there and congratulating, you know, whoever it is. It doesn't necessarily have to be your friend, but every time I see a dude on social media who's like, yeah, dude, I just got my Lamborghini or whatever, I low-key, like, I sit there and I'm like, dude, I wish God gives you more. Hell yeah, dude. I don't sit there and comment, you know, even if I did have a burner, which I don't, I wouldn't sit there and be like, you hater. You know, the best, if you don't like someone, don't say anything. That's like the secret cheat code in life, my friends. If you don't like somebody, don't say anyone. Don't say anything. One of the best quotes I've ever heard is, I've never regretted a time where I've stayed silent. Think about that again. I have never regretted a time when I've stayed silent. That's a heavy, heavy, heavy quote. So, all right, let me shower. Let me do my thing, 21. All right, and then I'll catch you guys in a little bit. I love you. Hi. So I just got done with student calls. Great new people joining the program. I love it. So now I'm going to the bank, what everything is, hopefully get them added under the account, open up another business bank account, take care of that. We gotta do that. Little side profile check for you. Other side. So I'm gonna catch you guys when I see Brian. He texted me when I was on my last student call. He is extremely punctual. Granted, he was military, so that's I just love that. I will see you guys in a second. I just saw a grandma on Instagram rapping. Someone take their grandma's phone away, bro. The grandma was rapping to Rio de Young OG. What kind of world do we live in now? I don't know what's going on. Get my mango. My mango is to blow up and then act like I don't know nobody. Got my water, got my office. This ain't a bad office, low-key. Like, imagine if this counter wasn't here and none of the cabinetry was there, it was just a wall. That'd be so dope. This would be sick-ass office, dude. How is my Amex on this phone and it's not on my other phone? Hello. I'm getting my food ready right now. I said I'm going downstairs and I'm gonna grill some lamb chops. Typically, I make them up here, but it's kind of annoying up here, to be honest with you, because it splashes everywhere and the yada, 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 yada. The downstairs grill is kind of inefficient, I'm not gonna lie to you, because of the simple fact that the grill doesn't start automatically. So what I gotta do is like put like a thing in there, paper towel, and then light it on fire, and then it kind of gets it. I'm gonna take half an onion. I don't know how smart that is. I do have plans to go out tonight. Enjoy the onion breath, ladies. I'm gonna take some lime. I'll just put it in a Ziploc bag here, and then I just never have to worry about it again. Done. Ta-da. Get something done right once and never worry about it again. White onions. I've heard the yellow onions are the most nutrient-packed ones. I don't know if that's how true that is, but if you have some insight on that, please let me know. Okay, I'm gonna take this, I'm gonna put this. Now that I'm thinking about it, I am going out tonight, so last thing I want is onionated. Don't use plastic cutting boards too. I mean, I ain't the healthiest guy on earth, right? But I try to be mindful, you know, from time to time. Real G's, drink Diet Dr. Pepper. That's that. Throw that, and then when I get back, I'm gonna take out all my trash. I will see you downstairs. Hello. I just made some food. I am about to eat and relax. Chill out for a bit, hang out for a bit. I grilled this lime a little too. I don't typically grill lime, but here is what's on the menu. Lamb chops, onion, lime, Dr. Pepper diet. Is it healthy? Yeah, I mean, hey, it ain't bad. Yeah, I guess the lamb chops are high in fat, but who cares? Whole Foods, Whole Foods. I just want to let you guys know I was posting too. So let me watch this. I'm about to put on a YouTube video. You know how it is. I'm an iPad baby. All right, I love you. I'll call you in a little bit. And by the grace of God, my stomach is full yet once again, my dear friends. Small wins. Change the way your mind framework is. I just had some lamb chops, nothing crazy. By myself, dude. I love me time. I love me, and I love me time. A dude can't relax. Kidding. Listen, I want to make an Instagram video, right? Well, you're gonna be seeing this in like a day or two, right? So it's not gonna make sense. You know those videos where it's like, would you like punch this baby for like $500 million? And then like, it just like goes in slow motion. The guy's jumping from like wherever. I saw this one video I'm gonna stitch. It's like, would you push me down the stairs? Or like $4 million. And then I'm gonna do like a slow motion version of it where I'm like jumping like crazy. Would you kick me down the stairs? That's what it is. Would you kick me down the stairs? I gotta figure out a way to set my phone up somewhere, preferably in my room, and then I'm gonna run and like kick the camera. I don't know, I'm also kind of scared. Like, what if I land on the window, dog? Bye, Smog King. My dumbass flying down. My fat ass drifted through the wind. They're gonna think it's like a nuke falling down, bro. Channel 7 News. A man mistaken for an atom bomb was just a fat Middle Eastern man. Oh, God. I just gotta make sure not to anything up. No, I mean, realistically, I wouldn't go through the window. But if I break it, I don't know how much these windows cost. And I don't really wanna know. Probably in tax. Probably like 10K, bro, per. You know how these contractors are? One Google search on me, then they're gonna be, it's gonna be game over. They're gonna be like, oh, this kid has money, charge him 20. I gotta figure that out. I'll figure something out. Other than that, what's up? How are ya? What am I doing, little old me? I'm relaxed, my friend. I am at peace. No drama in my life, really. And I wanna keep it like that. I guess this is why streaming is kinda cooler, because it's real time. Like, you get to see these people like in IRL. What do I got? I love history and intelligence agencies. I was watching a YouTube video about the Stasi. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing that, but it was West Germany's surveillance department. Like when the Soviet Union conquered them or whatever. It was fucking insane, dude. These guys, like, listen to this, listen to this. So instead of, like, they wouldn't unalive people, like, pew, pew. They would, but that, obviously that's not good for the public, right? Your public image. So what they started doing to people was breaking them mentally. Bro, that's kind of like sus. Like, hello, relax. That's one. Like, can a dude just enjoy his life? And so what they ended up doing was like send people in his friend group, and then they would become friends with his friends, and then like kind of shit talk him. So then, or like spread false rumors about them. And then what they would do is like they created like these like bugs, and they would bug your house when you were away. And then what they ended up doing was putting cameras in the trees. Dude, that's so fucked, you know what I mean?
I guess we got an iPhone now. It's like the same thing. But for like that time, and then the last one was they sent someone to have an affair with his wife. What the fuck? Stasi's. I don't know. But if you want to watch a video, it's called The Surveillance State That Drove People Crazy. And it's by this YouTube account called Fern, Fern. Great work this guy does. I was on it and I was like, dude, what the heck? That's kind of crazy. I was eating my food. iPad, baby. I can't just sit in idle for too long because then I'm going to go insane. So let's vacuum my house. Done. Now at least my house is clean. Let me call you back. Hi, cuties. Sorry, I just had a phone call. It was literally like 2 minutes ago. Bro, my house is clean. I'm clean. I feel good. I feel amazing. I would feel a little bit more great with some ice cream. But no, I'm not going to do that. I had ice cream yesterday. And the crazy thing is, when you start bodybuilding, and I put the quotes because I'm not a f***ing bodybuilder, but let me say this. When you start exercising frequently, okay, yeah, that's a better way to put it. So when you get the pump, right, you go to the gym, you start lifting weights, you notice you're getting pumps now. You tend to notice slight differences in your physique. Today, because I had sugar, my body puffs up. So I noticed it today, like you couldn't see my veins as much. I wasn't as shredded, if you will. And I'm not shredded by any means, but I'm not as lean as I typically am. That's because of the ice cream. But this is only 70 calories per tablespoon, and it's basically almost empty. After this scoop, it's empty. Hold up, maybe there's another scoop in there. Now you see why I used to be very fat. I love sweets, dude. Dude, imagine the first dude that discovered honey. Whoa. He was probably a god, dude, in his like hut. Shout out to whoever discovered honey, bro. You're the man. Or woman, I don't know. That got me thinking now, because nobody made honey, right? Honey was already made. Some weird ass dude was like, yo, let me eat the poop of bees. Who discovered honey?
Honey was discovered by early humans during their hunts. They would stumble upon beehives tucked away in trees or rock crevices. The oldest written reference to honey dates back to the Egyptians in 5500 BC.
Who discovered honey? Homo. Who discovered honey? Homo. Oh God, Homo sapiens, I know, but at least write that. That cracks me up, bro. I'm gonna hang out for a second. Yeah, I thought I'd share another small win for you. So look at this. My Instagram, on my new Instagram, the analytics last week was at like 275,000. Now it's at 400,000. I just think it's pretty cool for me. I don't know. All right, well, I love you. I'll catch you in a second. Bye. Hi, you cutie patooties. I'm getting ready to go out with a few friends of mine. Tonight is an opening of this one club. I don't really know. We're gonna go get a table there. That's about it on my end. I love you. I will see you tomorrow. Hopefully I'm not hungover. I probably will be. I've had a week and a half, but I can't drink too much. And I will call you tomorrow. Look at my hair. I'm getting ready. With that being said, that concludes yet another day in the life of an entrepreneur. I love you so much. I'm sorry, I'm gonna rush right now. I gotta go. Meet my friends. I don't wanna be late. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.